First, it was solar panels and the solar energy that was targeted through tariffs by the Trump administration. Now this is escalating as we have Trump saying that steel and aluminum will also fall under this, and all of this is expected to be formally unveiled this coming week. With all this rhetoric here on the world stage adding up to this World Trade War 1 with all this doom and gloom, and it's back and forth, this tit for tat, as before anything has even been strongly implemented, we have the European Commission firing back, saying they are prepared to respond quickly and forcefully by targeting imports of Harley Davidsons, Levi jeans, different bourbon whiskeys. And he goes on to state that he's targeting certain things from certain areas, that Harley Davidson is based in House Speaker Ryan's home state of Wisconsin, that the bourbon whiskey comes from Mitch McConnell's state, and that Levi Strauss in California would be targeted. That is Nancy Pelosi's district. So this is what they're saying. And how much of it is actually true? I've talked about how everything, even the markets out here, are being propped up. Now, what Trump's talking about doing in countering what they just said is applying a retaliatory tax on cars. So it's taking it a step further. And then he says we will soon start this reciprocal tax that will charge the same thing as they charge us. Now, there are some valid points here in this argument because around the globe from past administrations, there has been a situation set up to where, and this is because of backdoor deals. And you have to understand, when you're talking about these situations, it affects those backdoor deals that were done beforehand. If things were put up that the public really wasn't aware of throughout past administrations in terms of deals with China or Russia or Europe or whoever, say they were selling American goods and they were charging a higher price than even what the Americans were. Well, he's saying enough of that. He's saying that we've been getting kind of done in on that end and that we have an $800 billion trade deficit. So one can see that somewhere along the lines we have to do something in terms of fixing this. And whether people like it or not, this is the guy they've put in the office to deal with these issues. The only thing here that one could look at, in my perspective, as a positive thing with this is that Trump is a businessman. And here on this world stage, he's going to be out here strong-arming things. The problem is this. When it comes to his company or things like that, then he can take those pitfalls. He can take whatever happens there. He can lose a building or whatever it is. Okay, with the country, you can't do that. Or you're going to lose the country. It's a whole different ball game here economically, globally. And I think people fail to see sometimes how dependent some countries are on others. Just like how dependent China is on this country. Where do you get all your cheap electronics? From them and all these other deals. He done threw tariffs on the solar panels. Now, China is very rich in steel, holding massive amounts, hoarding massive amounts. So when you start to look at some of these tariffs that were just put out there across the board and who's selling these things, you start to see who this is angled toward. Now, what I find very interesting as well here is the fact that Europe has been talking about creating their own European military union outside of NATO or any of that, their own military unit, and it would just be another force to contend with out here on the world stage. But why would they do that? Where's this all going? And if there's going to be these trade wars going down here on the world stage, how far will it go with this tit for tat? What will be next? If Trump is saying, all right, we're going to do this with cars next, is this going to escalate? And is this really in the end going to help create jobs? Some of the numbers here that they're running in terms of the aluminum and other tariffs show that just because they're putting a tariff on there, trying to get more money as things are coming into the country, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to create more jobs here. And then you have to look at, across the board, the technological side here in this country and around the globe. You have to factor the part of robots and AI and the acceleration of that into this. That is taking jobs quicker than people even realize. Instead of creating them, it's taking them. It's getting rather creepy. And to me, if they keep pushing this, it could in turn affect jobs that people are holding down. And if they can replace it with a machine or a robot and save that overhead in the long run, you're going to start to see 1984 rolling out right in front of your very eyes. And for those that don't know what that is, that reference, you've got a lot of research and work to do. And that's the truth. Time is ticking. I'm going to leave a link here. I will continue to update as I come across more. This has been Dabu7. And much love to everyone out there that's fighting the good fight.